One's ready. One's ready. Go!
Everybody, welcome back to the One's Ready podcast. This is your daily drop for 24 April. This one's going to be really quick because it's the end of the day and I want to get this out to you guys. If you're new here, this is the news that the Public Affairs Office puts out for the United States Air Force and Space Force to all the commanders and all the chiefs. And this is just kind of a quick gist of what each topic is and any kind of insider baseball or my opinion on them. So, joint news, Defense Acquisition Review. The Defense Department initiated a review of the major acquisition programs to identify potential cancellations, aiming for high-performing, mission-aligned initiatives. Defense Secretary emphasized efficiency, advancing Trump's Golden Dome missile defense, and improving the F-47 next-generation air dominance fighter. Next, Secretary of Defense defiance stance. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth acknowledged a turbulent start, but claimed the Defense Department has moved past, quote, wokeness and weakness, end quote. He credited increased military recruiting to a focus on warfighting priorities over social issues. New cyber rules for contractors. The Pentagon's acting CIO introduced a software fast-track process using AI to streamline software acquisition, replacing outdated authorization to operate, or an ATO, and risk management framework processes. The initiative aims to accelerate contractor cyber approvals as announced by Katie Aragon. Cyber rules. Man, that's a messy thing. All right, Air Force news. Facility sustainment concerns. Air Force Chief of Staff David Alvin opposed a bill mandating increased infrastructure restoration funding, citing excessive infrastructure and the need for budgeting agility. I agree with that. We need more flexibility with the budgets we have and less bureaucratic assholes trying to tell us who, or not who, but where and when and how we can spend a commander's money. Anyway, to finish it off, a House Armed Services Committee staffer clarified that the bill does not require investment in facilities deemed excess. Yeah. All right, next. F-16 exercises in the Philippines. F-16s from Japan's Misawa Air Base are participating in the Balikatan exercise in the Philippines, one of their last before being replaced by the F-35s in 2026. The exercise includes the Air Force assets and features a full battle test to demonstrate multilateral operational effects. F-35s in Japan, get up for it. C-17 commercial refueling. Air Mobility Command achieved a milestone by refueling a C-17 Globemaster III with a commercial tanker for the first time on April 10th. This contracted refueling enhances training access for pilots addressing limited air fueling opportunities. All right, that's pretty cool. And good on the Air Force or Air Mobility Command for actually getting after that. It sounds simple, right? And it sounds silly that you're like, oh, wow, that's not really a big deal. But when you start thinking about the bureaucratic stuff that happens with it and getting through all the approvals, and so many Air Force leaderships and military leaderships in general are so risk adverse now that this is actually a big deal. And I bet the coordination for this was immense, because what happens if the commercial tanker scratches or damages government property, i.e. the C-17? Like, it becomes a big deal. So kudos to AMC. Good job. Shaving waiver algorithm. A Louisiana Air National Guard unit's 20-step flowchart guides medical providers in determining shaving waivers for, dude, there is no way I am pronouncing this correctly anyway. Pseudofolliculitis barbara, common among black men. The document outlines symptoms, treatments like electric clippers or laser therapy, and differentiates PFB, I guess that's the shortened acronym for it, from other skin irritations. All right, nuclear microreactors in Alaska. Dude, we've been talking about this. I'm excited about these little guys, man. Me and my son were actually on YouTube going over some of these small nuclear reactors and the modular reactors. And this is the way of the future. I'm telling you right now. Anyway, nuclear microreactors in Alaska. The Air Force plans to install nuclear microreactors at up to micro reactors up to 9 bases starting with Eielson Air Force Base to ensure energy resilience. These reactors will support critical data centers and satellite downlinks, protecting against grid failures and cyber attacks. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is massive. This is huge. And the got it. The military applications for this are massive. Think about the commercial applications for this. One of these things in concept is being touted as being it's either $7,000 or $10,000 for your home and will sustain your home for, I think, 10 years is what it was. So maybe it's $7,000 and it will sustain your home for 10 years or more. Like if you start looking at what your electricity bills are and you live in an area that is, like Las Vegas, right? That is high electric because of the amount of air conditioning that you have to have on. Like having one of these little guys in your house would be amazing. And it's clean energy. So, all right, next. B-21 development at Edwards. Representative George Whitesides and Brigadier General Douglas Wickert highlighted the B-21 Raiders development at Edwards Air Force Base, noting its strategic importance against China's military advancements. Wickert stated the B-21 will alter China's perception of the U.S. readiness. Yeah, you ain't kidding. The B-21 is a bad mofo. That thing is sick. And its abilities to map out the battle space and the battlefield and battle track is huge. So super excited for this thing to come on board. Holloman protest. Protesters blocked an entrance to Holloman Air Force Base, opposing the Air Force's drone training program and alleging it supports Israel's action in Gaza. One protester was arrested for trespassing by local law enforcement. How'd that protest work out for you guys anyway? Did it change anything? I don't know. I'm not saying protesting is bad or a waste of time. I'm just saying you assholes that protested in front of the gate, just saying, didn't change anything, did it? All right, missing airmen wanted. The Air Force is searching for Airman First Class Brandon Cecil Standifer, accused of desertion and possessing child sexual abuse material last seen in Yellowstone National Park. His phone suggests he may be near and Inner Groves Heights, Minnesota, and the public is urged to call 911 if spotted. Be a shame if things happen to pedophiles, but whatever. Innocent until proven guilty. Space Force news, secret NRO launch. The Space Force conducted a covert National Reconnaissance Office payload launch, possibly a Starshield payload, adding to over 200 NRO satellites in orbit. General Chance Saltzman emphasized the dual role of defending U.S. space power and countering hostile space threats. This is of interest now. China's rare earth restrictions, China's export restrictions on rare earth minerals are critical for U.S. military technologies like hypersonic missiles and radar systems, threaten Pentagon readiness. The move echoes China's 2010 strategy against Japan, with 78% of the DoD systems relying on Chinese-sourced minerals. We have got to get out of... I get it. We're going to have to get some stuff from China and other countries, but when you start talking about like semiconductors and stuff like that still being built outside the U.S., man, I guess we didn't learn anything from COVID. Now, I know that that's supposed to be changing and everything, but I don't think we're there yet, and we've got a long way to go. So, next, Hegseth needs support. Senator Kevin Cramer expressed confidence in the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, but noted he requires experienced deputies to navigate the Pentagon's complexities. Cramer highlighted the lack of institutional expertise as a challenge in Hegseth's early tenure. Yeah, everybody should surround themselves with people that are smarter than them. Like that's nothing new, and hearing the criticisms over Secretary Hegseth in terms of him being young, are all these old fogies that are out there, are they really saying that somebody that's in their 40s and 50s isn't capable of being the Secretary of Defense? Like, come on, man. Like, get real. All right, next. Hegseth signal leaks. Defense experts warn that Pete Hegseth's leaks of sensitive information via signal make him a prime espionage target. Doubtful. Potentially exposing troop movements. Also doubtful. Signal's lack of military-grade encryption could enable foreign governments to intercept critical communications. Now, I will say, Signal used to be locked down pretty well. It is not now. Like, I don't know of a single, two-factor, whatever it's called, two-way encryption messaging service that is not hacked now. But to think that quote-unquote military-grade encryption is that great, it's not. I'm here to tell you that even some of our other networks are compromised, and we know that they're compromised, and we're tracking what they're looking at. So, Signal is just as compromised as everything else, to include our networks. So anyway, looks like last two. SpaceX launch increase. SpaceX proposed increasing annual launches from Cape Canaveral to 120 and adding a new booster landing site following a record 93 launches in 2024. Congratulations, SpaceX. The FAA's environmental assessment found no significant ecological impact from the proposed increase. Finally, Space Force outsourcing limits. The Small Sat Alliance argues that critical Space Force missions like warfighter communications must remain government-operated to ensure reliability. A hybrid space architecture is proposed, balancing government and industry roles while prioritizing national defense resilience. Sorry this was so fast. Sorry I didn't give much details on it. I'm just trying to get this out to you guys before the end of the day. So thanks for what you do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and then leave us a review and a comment below, because I want to hear from you guys. And then join us in San Diego for the Operator Training Summit. Later.